screen so I know what I'm telling you to do. Good morning. My name is Mrs. Easthope, and this is a beginner yoga class for you. Some hip opening routines for those of you who have been sitting. I am so happy to have you here today, letting you know that you already made a good decision for yourself to come to yoga this morning, a decision of self-care. And there you are, just keep coming up. And also hello to those that will join us later on video when we play this later. I want you guys to start to bring some props. I have some blogs at home, but if you don't, maybe a couple of books, something that in case that you need to get some length, you can use. Of course, a mat, a sticky mat, and maybe a blanket, 2 blankets, or a pillow. You can just take some time right now to gather those props. And you will need a strap today. So if you don't have a yoga strap, maybe grab a belt. And we're gonna do some hip opening. We're gonna stretch our legs on the floor as we stand up. And this is going to be very helpful. If you don't have it, don't worry, we'll do some accommodations around that. Okay, well, to begin, we're just gonna lay down. Everybody just lay down on your mat. Lay down on your mat and just relax. For a moment, open your arms to the sides and even open your legs. Close your eyes if you're comfortable. And we're just gonna have a quick scan through our body. Just from your head. I want you to just focus on your body really well and the way it's touching the ground. And I want you to scan that every part of your body is relaxed. Your head, your neck, your shoulders, your torso. Just watch for any spot that is got tightness and just tell it to relax. Your arms, your fingers, your hips. Feel that grounding of your hips on the ground, and then your legs all the way to your toes. Now I want you to place your hands on your belly and start focusing on your breath. Don't try to control it, just watch your belly rise as you inhale. Feel it under your hands and just watch it go down towards the ground on your exhale. Okay. Do that again. Feel it rising. And just without pressing it, just allow it to go down and just kind of wander a little bit on that feeling of being alive, of being a breathing human, on interacting with your environment outside of you by taking breath from it and giving breath, just the act of that. We get so busy in our lives with all the things that we do that we forget that we are living, breathing humans. So this is a moment that is just for you, uniquely for you, to remember that. And I want you to focus on the act of your hands pressing on your body and nurturing you. It's almost like that you're giving yourself love by pressing, that you're taking care of you by this simple act of gently having your hands over your body. And so this is, recognize this is an act of generosity. I think every human needs that touch. So you are giving it to you today. And now I want you to focus on the act of receiving that, what it feels like on your end to be touched gently, to be taken care of, and to be loved in this world. So you are the giver and you are the taker this morning. And continue breathing. And now you can bring your arms to the side. And then gently bring your knees together, hug them. Give yourself a hug with your knees. Just kind of roll. This is your first movement this morning. Just roll a little bit on your back. And then you're just gonna grab your right knee, bring it towards your chest like you already have, and the leg is going to extend forward. And this is kind of your first hip opening of the morning, where you just have it on the ground, knees close to you, focus on that left leg, really press in now. Press even if you have to with your hand on the ground, your quad. Just that act of separating. And I want you to feel that right leg is engaging on the outer hip. It's the part that we're going to work a little bit today. Keep breathing one more time. And now stretch that leg. Both legs are stretched down, and bring your left leg towards you. Bend your knee, bring your knee towards your chest. Your right leg will be extended. Press your quad to the ground if you need to, so that you can differentiate that act of one hip is separate from the other, but they're both even. And breathe into that. Nice. Now, both knees together. Again, give yourself a hug. And turn to the side and prop yourself up into table pose with your knees down. We're going to start just having a child's pose. So on your knees, just kind of bring your legs down however they are under. You can put them under your forehead or to the sides of your hips. And that's child's pose. And now we're going to turn it into an extended child's pose. We're just going to stretch your arms forward, so much so that your elbows are going to lift. And you're going to even try to press your hips down a little further, just to get away from those palms. And so your arms are very active right now. So you roll toes under, push up your hips up and back into your first downward facing dog. So on your first down dog, just bend your legs, just kind of feel, kind of start stretching, moving. This is an intense pose already, so you want to work into it. And make sure that your bends are generously bent, so you don't feel any kind of pressure on your lower back. And the key is going to be to really, really push away the floor with your palms and to have your palms really grounded on the floor, especially on that L shape of your index finger and your thumb. Okay. On your inhale, you're going to push your chest forward onto a plank. Top of the push-up. Exhale, back, downward facing dog. Inhale, push Extend your chest forward, top of the push-up. Exhale, hips back and up and back, down dog. Inhale, plank. Exhale, downward facing dog. 2 more times. Inhale, plank. If this is hard, remember you can always go on your knees and then do extended child pose. Exhale, down dog. Inhale, plank. And then on the last down dog, we're gonna walk our hands towards our feet. Very slowly bend your knees if you need to. And this will be our first forward bend of the day. Bend your knees generously, think chest towards your legs, and just kind of stay there. Let your head hang a little bit. Grab your elbows with your hands and just kind of hang in this forward fold this morning. Make sure you breathe. And then on your next inhale, you're gonna come all the way up to standing. Well, hello again, everybody. Now we're standing and in Tadasana. Quite a different feeling after we've done that forward fold. And I want you guys to really watch your Tadasana. Make sure that your feet are firmly grounded on the 4 points of it, and that you're relaxed and at ease, that your knees are over your ankles, your hips are over your knees, and your chest is open, and that you have a neutral back. So for a moment, I want you to feel what a neutral back is. And just kind of try to tack your tailbone a little bit, and then just do the opposite action, which is sticking your butt out a little bit. And then just kind of do that a couple of times until you find a place where you're just kind of in the middle. And then just kind of hang your shoulders, relax your shoulders, don't shrug them. And then feel that, you know, you're not overextending your legs. This neutral pose is very important because we're gonna do it in other poses. Like when we were doing plank, it's like Tadasana, only with our arms extended. And in a minute, we're gonna do Cobra. It's gonna be Tadasana, only with our elbows tucked in. You can try that too, and our hands pressing on the floor. So every time that you're doing that, plank or Cobra on the floor, just think that you're standing only kind of on the floor in a different position. Another thing that I want to tell you before we move forward is how you're going to fold forward. And I want you to put your hands in the creases of your hips right there. And so when you bend down, when you fold forward onto Uttanasana, this is the action that you need to do. If it becomes really tight, you can bend your knees a little bit. But always when you're folding down, instead of, I see students doing this all the time, or they let go of their shoulders, or with this kind of sink in, and they bend their back, they circle, they kind of like hunch their back. So you always, is very assertive pose, hinging from the hips, chest goes forward, and you bend as far as you can. And then that's your Uttanasana forward bend. Okay, and I have to bend my knees. I'm not that flexible, and that's okay. I also have a little injury on my hamstring, so it's a good thing. Just a reminder that whatever is happening in your body, just really make sure that you take care of yourself. That nothing should hurt, and even when you are engaging, you are extending, but you should not be hurting. Okay. Well, now that we're clear on that, we're going to do some warm-ups, half salutation. Circle your arms up, inhale. Forward fold into the hips. halfway up, forward fold, hands through a flat back circle. Arms up and bring them to the center of your chest in Anjali Mudra. Again, circle your arms. Inhale, exhale into the hips, halfway up, forward fold, and all the way up. We're going to do 3 more like that. And center, circle, up, inhale, into the hips, forward bend, halfway up, forward fold, all the way up. Okay. Hands to center. Inhale, around up, forward fold, halfway up, forward fold, all the way up. One more. You're feeling the heat. Hands to center. Circle and up. Inhale. On the exhale, hinge at the hips. Uttanasana. Halfway up. Inhale. Forward fold. And all the way up. And now listen for the change. We're going to go at the top of the mat. Up around. I'm going to put this forward fold. Halfway up, and on your halfway up at the top of the mat, I want you to press your hands and bring one leg up into a lunge. So this is our first lunge in the morning, and I want to make sure that your left knee is tracking over your second toe and right stacking over your ankle, just to make sure that you don't pass, and that your knees are even, that your hips are even, that both hip points are facing forward, and your right quad is very, very engaged, very strong. Okay, and just breathe. Bring your arms up. One more breath. Press your hands down. Bring your leg back. Downward facing dog. And I take 3 breaths on down dog. And now your other leg, in my case is my right leg, now bring it up, bend that leg, bring it towards your chest and forward. Or we are on the other side, just make sure that you're on the other side of a lunge. And if this is hard for you, just bend your knee and just be on a lunge, just like right here. But if you're up here, make sure that your quad of the back leg, it's really engaged and it's up, up. Your knee again is on top of your ankle, tracking over your second toe. Hips are even, hip bones are facing forward, and then you can inhale, bring your arms up. Couple more breaths. Plant your hands. Bring your leg back. Remember, plank is like Tadasana, and downward facing dog. Take a couple of breaths on down dog. And now inhale, come forward to plank. Touch with your knees onto the mat and bring your belly down, all your body all the way down to the mat. For a moment, just rest. Maybe you can bring your right cheek to the side. Bring your arms to the side because that was a little bit of a lot. Just kind of rest there for a moment. Maybe turn your cheek to the other side. And now you're gonna get active again. Just going to bring your elbows close to you, palms are on the ground, and really close to your lower ribs. We're going to try some Cobra now. And I want your feet to be really pointed, active, trying to get away from your chest. Bring your elbows close to you and think, rather than neck up, think chest forward and up. Inhale, chest forward and up into Cobra. Nice. Exhale, forehead to the ground. Once again, inhale, chest forward and up. Exhale, down. Beautiful. Inhale, just your chest, your belly is down on the ground. And now for a hold. Bring your chest up, relax your neck, keep breathing, keep pushing your feet away from your body, keep pushing your chest forward. Keep breathing. Don't forget to breathe. And exhale. Now come up to your knees and trying to set up, see if we have, yeah, we're going to just stand up, come up to standing. I'm trying to see if we have some time to do some standing poses right now that are also hip openers. And open your legs, just kind of about one leg distance apart. Just really hug your feet together. This is like Tadasana, only our legs are wide open now. And I want you to grab your right leg and just sort of like from the hip, circle out. And your feet is going to face now forward in that direction. But you're not just moving your feet, you're just really moving your hip under. And your back leg just kind of pushes a couple of inches the heel down so that it's a little bit on an angle. And now check. Your forward leg should have a line up between the heel and the bridge of the back leg. So if you're right there, you're golden. And your chest is forward. And now think of your forward leg, you're looking in that direction. It should be your right, my left. And you're gonna try to lengthen with this whole side of your body. Just lengthen, lengthen. This leg stays really straight. Instead of thinking down, think forward, forward, forward. And at some point, you're not gonna be able to lengthen anymore. You're gonna set your hand down and your arm up. And this is Trikonasana, triangle pose. And whatever you do, just make sure that you're not sinking in this pose, that your whole right side is very, very long. You should be feeling this, in the back of your leg, all over the back of your forward leg. Make sure that your back leg stays active, that the outer part of your foot is really hugging onto the floor. Okay. Come back to standing, inhale. And now parallel your feet together. Gonna do the other side. Again, make sure that it's your hip. From your hip, you turn your leg and your feet is facing forward. The back foot just pushes back on the heel a couple of inches, and you have heel and second toe alignment, bridge and heel. Okay. And so this time we're gonna lengthen the other side. This leg is really straight, And we're lengthening, lengthening. Try not to sink, but just lengthen. When you cannot go any further, just put your hand on your thigh, bring your arm up, and I want you to breathe this pose, and also to keep your chest really, really open, and to focus on that hip of the forward leg and how it just keeps rolling under. Couple more breaths. Excellent. Just come up to standing, pushing with the outer leg. Parallel your feet. Let's just bring them to the center a little bit, just kind of a little movement. How does it feel now? What do you feel it on your hips? Did they open a little bit? Excellent. I'm gonna come up again. Open our legs, kind of like before. And we're gonna do the same thing that we did before. On our right leg, we're going to turn it as our hip goes under. But this time we're just gonna kind of bend it. And back leg is gonna go a couple of inches. Back leg is really straight. Front leg is folded to a 90-degree angle if you can, or less. Don't get past, don't let your knee pass your ankle. So right there, we should be feeling it. This is just kind of going for the right, this back leg, but this front leg, you can really, really feel that turning of your right butt cheek kind of under. And I want you to feel that outer hip being really strong and holding this pose for you, okay? So we're right there and we're perfect. Make sure your chest is pointing forward, and you can just bring your arms, look over your front arm, just maybe your right hand, your fingers. That's your warrior, a very strong pose. They can also be strong from the inside. You can even put your hands on your belly and feel your breathing. You can even close your eyes if that feels comfortable. This is a strong pose. Make sure that on your inhale, your crown of the head just goes up, your chest is open. And on your exhale, you're grounding with both feet. Inhale, stretch your front leg. Parallel your feet together. Gonna do the same thing on the other side. Turn your left butt cheek under and bend. Don't let your knee pass your ankle. Track knee over second toe if you can look. Back leg strong. Goes for the right. It doesn't have to do anything. Just stay strong. Make sure your foot is firmly grounded also. Don't let the front leg do all the work. Open your chest and arms extended. Look over your left fingers. Close your eyes if you're comfortable. Just feel the strength of this pose. Inhale, open up. Exhale, ground. Inhale, crown of the head up. Exhale, feel that left hip rolling under and just taking all the strength of this pose. One more inhale. One more exhale. Inhale. Stretch your leg and your hips together. Come back to the heart center. We're going to try some balancing pose now. Trying to see how we're doing with time. So just have your feet kind of hip width distance apart, whatever that is for you. And take the Tadasana that you did before where your hip is very neutral. And for this pose, all of a sudden, just kind of feel how your weight is going to your right foot, and just the other foot is kind of lifting a little bit. So when you do that, engage that hip again. Let that hip be the one that is holding you together. So you'll come to a point where your left foot will be just loose. And at that point, you can just open up your hip and put it on the side below your knee. Or if you're really flexible, you can just bring it up above your knee. And this is a great, I can't do that. But just whatever you do, don't put it on your knee joint, below or above. This is where I feel comfortable. So put your hands together. Breathe. This is another hip opener, tree pose. If you feel you have the balance, you can inhale, bring your arms up. Inhale one more time. Hips are even. We're not climbing up that pose. Just touch your hip bones, make sure they're facing the same way. Just gently kick your leg forward. And now just for a moment, how does that feel? How is one side different than the other? Okay, so this time we're going to shift our weight to our right foot. And immediately we're gonna feel how our, did I say to our left? Yeah, to our left foot. Immediately we're going to feel how that left hip is engaged, holding us in this pose. I'm gonna grab our right leg and put it open up first. Make sure that it's not climbing up, that we have even hips. Just put it right under or above if you feel, above your knee, if you feel like you're that flexible. Hands together, Anjali Mudra. And again, if you feel like you're falling, this is not a contest. If you feel like you're losing balance, just touch and just go back into the pose. This is about being gentle. We're opening our hips today because we're kind to our bodies, because we've been sitting all week looking at the screen and our hips are saying, hello, help. So breathe in, breathe out. And now just shake that leg forward and come back to Tadasana. Excellent. Okay, so we're going to do some sitting poses right now. So just slowly going down to the ground. So I want you guys to grab maybe some blankets or some pillows, something that will prop you up enough so that your back doesn't suffer on your sitting poses. Okay, I'm just gonna sit down. And for this, you're going to need the strap. Although some people don't need a strap, you're really flexible, but if you have it, just use it. And so we're gonna do a hip opener. So make sure your sit bones are firmly planted, and we have some funky light, but I think you can see me. And you can have your legs going forward, flexed feet. We're going to bring your bend your left knee and bring it towards you, and open it up to the side, and bring the sole of your feet to on your thigh like that. It's just like the tree pose that we just did, but we're just sitting. Just open up your chest, crown up, and we're going to put a strap around our sole and just push ourselves up and forward. If you're super flexible, I'm sure you can do this with your hand. Just make sure that you're not arching, collapsing again, but that you're assertive. And if you only go 3 inches, that's fine. Some people can just bend like a knife. They just go all the way to the front. But again, this is not a contest. We just go as far as we can to feel that stretch, that opening in our hip. Sweet. Okay, a couple more breaths. This should feel so good, guys, doesn't it? Like on your On your stretch leg, very active flexed foot. Make sure you breathe it. Then you're really, really pressing down um, that other leg to where it feels comfortable towards the ground and just feeling that opening. Nicely done. Just take that strap away, bring your knee up, bring both knees up with your hands, and we're going to change legs. We're going to extend our left leg forward with a flexed foot, opening up a right leg that is bent, sole against a thigh, like in tree pose. Grab your strap or your hands and just climb forward, even with your strap. See how far you can go while you're keeping your back up and while you're keeping, well, you're just not feeling any kind of pressure on that lower back. I cannot go this far on this because that's where I have the injury. So I just literally can only go this far or it would hurt. So you go as far as you feel comfortable. Breathe. Feel your right folded leg down, going towards the ground while the other one stays really active. Beautiful stretch. Feels lovely to me. Nicely done. Let go of your strap. Bring your feet together. Give yourself a little hug. We're going to open now about a 90-degree angle your legs with your feet flexed. And this time, again, our butt cheeks are firmly planted and our lower back is flat. And we're just gonna, with our hands, go forward. And I cannot go farther than that because of my hamstring. But you can go as far as you feel comfortable going and while keeping your feet on flex. Just kind of relax on that. You know, some people might be able to even just kind of put their hand on your arm, folded arms. It's just wherever you feel comfortable. Just make sure that it's grounding and make sure it's nurturing for you wherever you are. Okay, bring your legs together. We are going to almost lay down. I'm not quite, you know, letting you kind of go off the hook there. Just for a moment, I want you to kind of stay right here. We're going to do a little bit of Navasana where your back again is flat and your knees are going towards you, and you're just going to kind of try to balance on your seat bones with your with a flat back, shoulders back, and perhaps you can, you know, grab your hamstrings or your bring your arms together. And from here, some people can actually stretch. If you can do that, more power to you. From here, we're going to go very, very slowly without letting go strength from our abs, from our belly. Our belly is going to be really nice and tight. We're going to come all the way down. Really, really slowly. And yes, finally made it to the ground, but everybody was waiting. Just, we're gonna do some windshield wipers. So for that, I want you to lay down and bring your the soles of your feet to the sides of all the way to the sides of your mat. And, you know, have some distance. Don't, you know, bend your knees, but not so much. And so we're going to bring your legs towards the right and just kind of let them be where you're comfortable. Arms are wide stretched open. Inhale to center. Bring your knees to the left, but the soles of your feet do not move from the sides of the mat. I mean, they, don't let them go anywhere. It's just kind of your knees there. Inhale, center. Exhale to the right side. Oh, this is the best part of the yoga practice, because somehow your head is telling you, Shavasana is near. You just gotta relax, and it feels so good that we took care of our body today. To me, Shavasana is the best part of yoga. I think I do yoga because of Shavasana. Left, center, and then just kind of lay down in a way that is most comfortable, most nurturing to you into Shavasana, this corpse pose. And I want you to maybe tuck your shoulders a little bit under, really open your chest, really open your arms, palms up. Let your feet kind of really spread out and just feel that contact with the ground. Take all the pressure from your neck, all the pressure from any part of your body, and just feel that this is a surrendering pose. There is the niyamas, the yoga practice. There is one part, the ultimate, the most important part, is that surrendering. But what it means is offering. And you're offering your practice to the universe. You're offering to yourself, because you took care of yourself today. It's something beautiful for self-care. So just breathe in. Let your mind just be quiet and calm. Just give yourself the gift of not be thinking about the next thing, about what's after, but just have this moment be it, the only moment, the only important thing that happens, because it's all there is right now. And just let your breath do whatever your breath wants to do. And if you see any thoughts kind of creeping into your mind, just watch them. Just watch them and just let them go. Don't judge it. Just let them go. However many times that takes. Now start bringing some feeling to your hands. Bring some feelings to your toes. Just bring your knees up, bend your knees a little bit, and sort of drop to whatever side is comfortable, left or right, into a fetal position. And with your top hand, just kind of press yourself up gently into a seated position. Just crisscross, close your eyes, hands to heart center. Take a deep breath, circle your arms up. Inhale, bring them together into Anjali Mudra. You did a good thing for yourself today. You gave yourself permission to take care of your body, to take care of your soul, to honor your breath and the simple act of you being alive. So good for you. Bend your neck down forward. The best in me sees the best in you. She's namaste. Namaste. Well, thank you, everybody. That was lovely. I appreciate you showing up, and you have a great, great day. And carry on. Have fun.
Thank you so much.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. You guys are so lovely.